Hey going guys, it's the Chatty Pug here, and I'm going to be showing you how to get your gameplay footage rendered out looking crispy and having pretty much no quality loss whatsoever for YouTube from the original settings that you recorded at. Some Soma gameplay I've got right here. As you can see, it looks pretty crispy. And yeah, so with that being said, let's get into the tutorial. Alrighty guys, the first thing you want to do is we want to go to File, New, and Sequence. And there's some presets I've already made here, but I'm going to show you how to make them anyway, so we won't worry about that now. So you want to do a custom one, so don't use a template or anything. You want to have this at 60 frames per second. The footage that I captured it at was 1080p, but I'm upscaling it to 2560 by 1440. So if you want to render it out at 1080p or 720 or whatever, just copy these settings, but just change your frame size to match. And we want to have square pixels. Our fields, we want lower fields first. Our display format is 60 frames time code. And audio samples we want at 48. Leave audio samples, leave frame only. And we want to select maximum bit depth, maximum render quality, and select this one right here. I think this just helps with your rendering with your graphics card to make things a bit smoother. So we want, that looks all good. I think that's everything that we need. So you want to open up this sequence right here, and the next thing we want to do is we want to bring in our footage. So my footage right here that I've got is some Soma gameplay. So we'll just drag that one in. And we'll double click on it and just bring it into our timeline right here. And you'll get this message saying, like a warning, and it will pretty much wants us to change our sequence settings to match our project, because our footage is at 1080p and the project is 1440p. So we don't want to match that, we want to keep our settings because we're upscaling it. So we'll keep our settings. And if you haven't set this up already and you drag in your footage and you get these, your footage is like half the size and there's some black bars. There's a way to fix that. You just double click on your footage right here and you can drag these squares in to kind of like reach the end of the frame. And with, if you don't want to do that every single time you drag in footage and you just want to do it automatically, what I have it set as and what is the best way I reckon to do is just go into edit and go into your preferences and in general, and under your general tab right here you want to select default scale to frame size. I'm pretty sure by default it's not selected. If it is, you shouldn't have a problem. Your footage should just automatically upscale to the right project size. So 1080p should go to the 1440p. If it was 1440p footage and you have a 4K file, project file, it should just upscale that 1440p footage. So you don't have to mess around with manually sort of dragging these squares out. But so select that one if you want to use that, which I have mine as. And once we have that, we want to edit our footage that we want to render out. So I'm just going to render out about 40 seconds or so. Oh, about a minute. And so you've got your footage all edited and everything, and it's ready to render. So the next thing we do is we go to File, and then we go to Export, Media. So this is our export settings right here, and if it is selected at match sequence settings, we want to untick that, and we want to just change our own settings. So our format, we want to set it to 264. This is just the presets, but I'll show you how to save your preset so you can just select this so you don't have to do this every single time. So just ignore that for now. Our output name, this is where it saves to your folder that you can set it up to wherever you want. So I've got my PC, storage, YouTube, game footage. So I was going to call this Soma render, and that's our output name, and we'll go to that folder, and we want to leave these checked, and we move down. We want to go to our video tab, and to change these, just untick these ticks and you can like edit them. If you're upscaling like I am, you want to set it to 2560 by 1440. If it's 1080p, you want to put your settings to 1920 by 1080p. So ours is upscaled, so we leave that at that. Our frame rate, we want to set our frame rate, make sure it's matched to what we recorded it in. And mine's recorded at 60, so we're at 60. If it's at 30, set it to 30. Pretty simple. You want to match your original footage as much as possible. Field order, you want to set that one to progressive. Aspect to square pixels. And our TV standard NTSC. Your profile, it should be set to main by default, but set it to high. And your level will depend on your scale size of your footage. So 1440p is 5.1, and I believe 1080p is 4.2. It should just set it automatically, but you want to make sure those levels are right. Next thing you want to do is we want to select render at maximum depth, and then we go into our bitrate settings, and this is kind of the important part that we've got to get right. So we have our bitrate encoding, and it says right here VBR 1 pass, so pretty much that means it's like a variable bitrate that renders through. So it's doing 1 pass of it, but we want to do 2, so it's high quality and it gets the bit rate's a bit higher and better quality. It does take longer to do it this way because it's doing pretty much 2 renders, but you get better quality from it. And then we have our like target bit rate, and as you can see on our YouTube guidelines right here, it tells you pretty much everything you need to know about the bitrate settings. So it's for 1080p, we want 12 megabits, but megabytes, sorry. But we're doing 1440p, so we're going to want 24. So pretty much that means we're going to set our target to 24 and our maximum to 24. And if it was in 1080p, you'd match it to, I think it was 12. And whatever sort of other, like 720p, you'd be 7.5, etc., etc. So you kind of match your settings with that. And we want to leave all this here. We want to check use maximum render quality, use previews, and frame sampling. Just leave that how it is. All right, now so we're in our audio section of the tab. And we want to make sure our audio format settings are set to AAC, audio codec AAC, sample rate at 48,000, and at channels at stereo. And our audio quality, we want to make sure to set that to high, and our bitrate, I have mine set to like the maxed out like 320. But you can go down to like 192, but I wouldn't go any like lower than that. And yeah, just leave that at bitrate, and that should be it. Alrighty guys, so I finished exporting the video and it's all rendered out. It didn't take too long to render out that minute or so clip. So yeah, I'm going to leave you guys with the rest of this footage so you can kind of see what it looks like, the rest of this gameplay right here. So this is a good time now to subscribe if you haven't, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a like, and if you think it's useful to somebody, make sure you share it with them, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks guys.